Welcome back, guys, to Factorio Recursion. This is episode number 8. Last episode, we took care of our dwindling supplies of iron ore and coal with some expansions on the other side of the water. So that is taken care of. We have a lot more ore coming in. We also have this big patch of copper ore here, which we're going to start to tap very soon, this episode. And so it's time to scale everything up. These tiny little smelting areas. They're not going to cut it. They haven't been cutting it for a while. We've got all 6 science packs going, and that takes a lot of stuff. So we are going to upgrade our smelting area. This guy is going to take care of iron, and then this guy is going to take care of copper. We need to update our electronic circuit production now that we'll have more iron and copper coming in. Haven't been able to update this yet because we just haven't had enough copper to make it worthwhile. So instead of being in this little Mark 1 building, we're going to put him in a Mark 2. We also need to upgrade to the blue belts, which I haven't researched yet. And so we're going to basically move this. I'll probably make a new layout. We're going to move this, all of the belts and all of the inserters, into a slightly larger building. And then what else? Oh yeah. So all this science needs to be compacted down. We're going to start trying to compact our base as much as possible. So we're going to stick, if I can put this thing down, we're going to stick this building here, which is making red, green, and blue, and then the other 3 science buildings, as well as the laboratory building. And all of those are going in here. And while we're at it, I think I'm going to also compact this area. These mining drills and all these electronic engines, they are specifically for the blue science pack. Yeah, when we need these for robots and other stuff in the future, I think I'm just going to make an additional area to create those things. So we're going to put those in a factory building as well. I think they will fit in these guys. I think I can fit it in one of these. And since I'm going to be moving the electronic circuits out of here, I was just thinking, do I need to craft another one of these? But probably not. I'm going to move this stuff out of here, so we will have at least one vacant Mark 1 building. So the first thing I'm going to set up are the express belts, because I want to upgrade all my other stuff to using it, so we may as well get started with this first. So I researched it, and I've been trying to basically visualize the layout for what we need. This is the flow of how things are made. The belts make the splitters and the underground belts, and then underground belts make better ones, and things get made in that order. I'm going to also make the inserters. This is the basic layout. These are the different lines for the inputs that we'll need for the different materials. I think this guy's the only one that needs red circuits. Don't need much space here. The funny thing about these guys is the obscene amounts of gear wheels that we're going to need. So just to make, where is it? One express underground belt, or you get 2 of them, I guess. But you need 80 iron gear wheels, and to make the red ones that require that, you need 40. Yeah, so I actually gave up trying to put down all the gear wheel areas that we would need to make one of those every half second. We don't need to make one every half second. That's actually an absurd amount. But I think we do need a lot of gear wheels, and when I do use belts, I tend to use them in bulk. Let's see, right now I'm just sort of, I guess we'll do some military stuff. Going to do research that doesn't require a lot of, whatchamacallit? Steel. Yeah, until we get that upgraded mining setup. So what we're going to do, let's pick these up. We're going to set up quite a bit of gear wheel production. So I think we're going to do like 2 full rows. We'll have, let's say, iron coming in there. We're going to think of the best way to do this with the amount of space we have. We have iron coming in there. We could have assemblers there and the outputs there. Actually, since we're going to move the assembly machines over one space anyway to route the belt, we may as well make use of all of the space that we have, like so. And maybe 1 row of these is fine. That's still going to be quite a lot of gear wheels. Once I get some speed modules, that'll help a little bit, I guess. We do have all of this space to play with. Maybe I will put some other odds and ends that we need assembling in here in the fullness of time. But the output for the gear wheels will be like this. This will be the beginning of our assembly area. Guess we can do it like that. All of these guys will be gear wheels, and then we'll start setting up, feeding all of the other assemblers based on this. That is a lot of gear wheel production. And here's a little update. I'm about halfway through the design process. Got a solid line of the gear wheels. I changed the directions. Now it comes down here through the right. It braids through where the belts are getting made. It's all going to look like this. We need to set up a spot for all the chests. That's a blueprint, not an underground belt. We need to set up a spot for all the items to get collected. So that guy needs one. You need one. We will need one there. And occasionally I will want some of the different colored underground belts for belt weaving. That's a blueprint again. So we'll do that kind of thing. Give them all inserters. And then we're almost ready to let this guy go. We just have to, I have to bring in the red and green lines, and we need to fit this guy. And I think since we're going to have so much extra room, I will try to squeeze it up here as close to the other guys as possible. All right, the design is done. There's no way I didn't mess something up, so we're going to have to check my work to see where I screwed it up. But it's ready to go. So actually, we're going to do it kind of like this because we're going to need to split some belts. This could just be a temporary little setup until we get some of our new belts set up. So we need 3 lines of iron. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to need a, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This line needs to be green circuits. This line needs to be red circuits. And then 3 lines of iron. We will set up some proper throughput later. And then we need the ever-important lubricant to come in right there. Okay, and let's plop down just some lights or whatever over here. And see if it's working properly. How did I screw it up? I don't know. Looks like we've already got some storage chests going. Okay, the iron is coming in here. It's not going to be very much at first until we get the proper setup going. I just want some express belts to build some other stuff with and to have this stuff working while we work on the other stuff. Okay, looks like the gear wheels are coming down here. Okay, forgot that. You need iron. And you need 2 iron every half second, so let's give you another one. The normal inserter needs 1 iron every half second, so that should be fine. And then you need 1 as well. Okay, what are you missing? You are missing the red circuits. Oh! Okay, I guess we will do it something like that. Not ideal, but we don't need these crafting 100% of the time. We just need to come by periodically and pick them up. They need 15 electronic circuits every half second. One of these is not really enough for that. But we don't need it running every half second. That's a little bit absurd. Okay, but you are getting made. And what about you? Are these facing the right way? They are. You are missing red belts. You are missing gear wheels and normal belts. What did we screw up here? You're not getting any gear wheels. Oh, because I changed it. Oh, yeah. I modified the layout because I also wanted gear wheels coming down here. So we actually need it to be like that. There we go. That's what I screwed up. And then this needs to be like that. To let... Yes. Okay, yeah. Now it's working. I did, in fact, screw it up. When you can't see any of the items coming down the belts, it's hard to keep all the different pieces of information coherent in your brain. Now these are getting made. Good. Which means now these should, once the gear wheels finally get down here, but that's going to take a little while. I did not limit these chests, so let's go ahead and limit those. Okay, so I've got a decent amount of express belts crafted up, as well as the underground and the splitter guys, and we're going to have more being crafted as we work. While I was waiting, I laid out the new electronic circuit area. This should up our electronic circuit output by quite a bit now that we will soon be able to support it with the iron and the copper coming in. So next thing we need to do is lay out our furnace array, our new one. So it's going to be kind of like this, where we'll have ore coming in from the top and plates going out through the bottom. We're going to have one huge building for iron, one huge building for copper, and they should output 4 lanes each. Let's see, this is not quite correct, is it? That's too many spaces, unless I am mistaken somehow. Why do we have so much space in here? We don't need all this. Oh, I remember why. Okay, so I had red belts in here with the layout already set up. and I sort of forgot what I was doing. So one thing we could do with this layout, by the way, is we could make it a bit more compact. We could free up 3 more spaces. And now that I look at it, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I'm getting confused here. So the ores, I don't know why I went into my inventory for that. The ores are coming down through here. And these 2 belts are both going to be ores, one going left, one going right. We could combine them. We really don't need the doubled up ore belts. But we would only we'd only recover 3 spaces total. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And I can't really do anything with that amount of space, so it doesn't really matter. The reason there's so much space in between the furnaces is because, particularly in 0.15, side loading is very good for compressing belts. So they're going to be something like this. So let's go ahead and lay out, in fact, we only really need to lay out 1, and then we'll use a blueprint to lay out the rest. We're going to side load things, because that will allow you to totally compress a belt. There's not enough space in here to... Oh, we can get rid of these as well. There's not enough space in here to compress a blue belt with normal electronic furnaces without beacons, because you need 70... I think it's 70... You need 70 electronic furnaces per blue belt, so 35 per side. We can give them speed modules, which I am in the process of making, but these are only going to increase the speed by 40%. So we're going to have, I think, 20. Plus 40% is an extra, what, 8? So 56? Not quite 70. But it will be way more than we've had in the past. So what do we need to do now? What I need to do now is we need to do basically just one strip. And then I'll use a blueprint to place the rest, and then the robots will do the hard, heavy lifting. In fact, we only need, yes, these 3. Let's give you that. Like that. And then like that. And I'm going to figure out exactly how many we can put in here. We're either going to put 19 or 20, depending on how it fits. We can do the output through this little cap, like that, and then balance it once it's outside of the factory building. The problem is going to be the inputs, and we'll just have to see if it's going to work. Let's see. Did I add everything we need? Let me just glance over it before I blueprint it. Oh, yeah, missed one. There we go. See? Forgot something. All right, so we're going to blueprint from there to there. And the icon doesn't really matter because I'm going to be replacing it soon. Okay, so I want to run where I'm not going to be hitting a belt and being pushed to the side. I think if I just do... Yes. Okay, so it will only place one after... there's no overlap, so you can just run with it and stamp out basically just from one strip the entire thing. The problem is gonna be... Yeah, I don't think we can do 20 because we need to get this ore here. So, for instance, like if I had a ore coming in here, I could do this. But then where does this ore come in? Maybe we can try just to see while my robots are doing the heavy lifting. I could do it like this, since these belts are not going to be compressed anyway. We only need half of the throughput to either side. But is that worth it to look that ugly just to have one extra bit of furnaces? Eventually, we will upgrade our modules to speed modules 2, and then we should be able to compress 4 lines with this. So I'm not sure it's really worth it just for one extra furnace. So let's actually do this. We'll have a slightly cleaner design. All right, well, it's time to pick all this up. In fact, it's probably faster to do it with logistics robots than doing it manually with my fist or pickaxe or whatever the game decides I'm doing it with. Okay, so we'll pick up all the research stuff, and we'll just briefly... So that I don't want to lose it, so we want to keep all these things straight because they don't really display what they are when they're just in your inventory. But this guy is going to be the research. So we're going to put all the guys. Here is the one with the labs. Here is red, green, blue. I guess they go in your inventory in the order in which you pick them up. There's the gray. This should be purple. There's purple. Okay, and there's that. And then we just need one extra lab. Do I have enough to make one? I do. So we can put that right there. So now we've recursioned all of our research down into that guy. And we can pick up these guys. All these belts. All this stuff is going to get collapsed down, hopefully, so that our base is a little bit more compact. Actually, it's going to be decently more compact, but it's also simultaneously going to get bigger because we're upping our throughput so much. This is one small step for Factorio kind. One giant leap for robothood or something. Okay, we can pick up the coal. Pretty good. I've got all kinds of just random junk. I guess if I had really planned this out properly, I would have laid out a proper bus with 4 lanes for iron, 4 for copper from the get-go. I kind of thought we would be headed into the main base sooner. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't plan it up enough. I don't know. Doesn't matter, really. Okay, so do I have any other factory buildings in me? I don't, so let's pick up these 3. And I will recover the stuff inside them, I guess. Or I could just trash them. I don't really need the items they have. It's not that important. Let's just place them over here for the time being. And figure out what to do with them later. Let's give them power so they're not flashing like that and super annoying. And then we have to figure out how we're going to place these 2 guys. Any other factory buildings in here? Nope. Okay, pick those up. Just like, plop. One little robot picks up a giant factory holding thousands of items. Here's the iron one, although I guess it doesn't really matter which one is which. All right, making steady progress. It's kind of like a little bit like a yard sale. Everything must go. Discount offer. So we're going to move all of this. I did manage to line these guys up so they're centered with our future center of the base or whatever, where we'll put the official final Factory Mark 3, where everything will be incursioned. But we need to tech up to the level 3 modules and the beacons in the meantime. So this will be our second to last phase of the base. Need to pick up all this stuff. And I've just got tons of like extra crap on me. I don't need that particular rail. And we can pick up all these pipes because we're going to be relaying this stuff out. So let's just pick up all this. In fact, we're about to be full capacity. We're going to move the oil guy a bit because he's going to be in the way. And I've moved the electronic circuits, the belts and inserters, and the red circuit facility over there. Our research facility is over here. Our old mining is here. I love that these factories just let you move stuff around in bulk like this, but I have picked up a ton of just like random stuff that we're going to have to feed back into the bus once we're done sorting it out. Okay, I think I put the wrong thing. I've got one chest here for raw materials and a chest for not raw materials. And then, yeah, then I guess we'll just dump whatever I can fit. So those guys will be like that. I've got a book of belts. So this will be the iron. Let's see how we can do this. I want to leave this little marker here to remind myself where that final form is going to go. Our Super Saiyan level 3 or blue, or I guess it depends on which version of Dragon Ball you're watching at the moment. Okay, put this down like that. And then we'll need the other guys. So let's see. Where's my balancer? If we do it like that, we kind of need to come down a bit more, huh? Okay, so let's break that. Redo it. What if we do it like that? Is that going to look good? That's what I'm most concerned with. Is it going to look good? And I guess we'll go ahead and start putting 2 spaces in between things. Oops, dang it. Just to make it easier to lay down the underground belts. And I made another decision in that I had a lot of little improvised areas to craft things. Like I was crafting some speed modules right there. And we are going to move for those for all those sort of quality of life things like the laser turrets and besides the inserters and the belts, like the belt, the rail lines and the power poles and the signals and all this kind of lights and all the little stuff we need. Going to be using some robots to construct those, so I will need to make some robo ports. Okay, but this is going to look kind of like this. It's a little bit dark now, isn't it? I don't know where the outputs are going to come here. In fact, we may only have 2, but we will feed it into a... No, in fact, for steel, there's no way we have 4 lines. If we have 1 line, I'll be impressed. Let's just plan for 2 lines to start out. But this guy will have 4 lines, no big deal. What if we give him a space of 2 to keep that spacing consistent? Yes. Okay, looks nice. Okay, we can pull this guy all the way down. Pull these guys over. Like that. So this is kind of the way it's going to look. And yeah, we'll probably just have... I haven't designed the layout for this guy yet. But it'll probably be something like that. Let's keep this spacing consistent. So that was the outside one, like that. We can adjust where the belts are once I've actually made it. There we go, something like that. Will look good. And then we will add in the electronic circuits. I want to leave space for this guy so we can start mining that up. Speaking of which, oh no, I already started inserter capacity bonus, although I guess I started it after I'd cut all of the belts off. So we didn't actually make any progress. Let's go ahead and let's research nuclear power. We don't need it yet in terms of the amount of power I'm using, but might be fun to experiment with it sooner or later. So just as a kind of like a sketch, just to lay out the basic idea, this guy's going to go something like this. We're going to move the oil guy, I think, down to there or so. And then, let's see, we don't need electronic circuits going in there, but we need him before we can make... Let's see, do I have enough room in my inventory to pick all this stuff up? We'll find out. We'll find out in a jiffy. And if the oil is going to be there, we don't need these oil pipes. We can pick all this up. There's no way my inventory does not reach maximum capacity and overflowage. In just a second here. Our little iron patch, by the way, ran out down there. That one's empty. And this one has only 200k. Once we pick these guys back up and start doing research again with our full mining capacity, this guy is going to vanish in a puff of smoke. Looks like I did manage to pick all that up. Okay, running back here to dump raw resources. Looks like we need a few more chests. We'll filter all this stuff back into the bus once the bus is laid back down. Let's see. I guess it doesn't matter. We can just pick stuff back up later. Let's put all of the belts. I'll filter these back into our production area so they get recycled into the express belts. Every little piece helps. Doesn't hurt to be more efficient. These are going to get put in the smelters there, but I don't need to worry about that just yet. We're just moving stuff around now. I don't need to be producing things. Okay, so let's see what else. After him will be Mr. Red Circuit. And then after him will be Express Belts, and everything else will be done with Roboports, more or less. At least for the time being. Oh, okay. Didn't pick everything up, I guess. There we go. But I emptied my inventory up enough. And you know what? I think I also want to clean up the area a little bit. I put these radars on the edges of the map. And I've got a lot of, like, the old power poles. I think it's time to just clean up the map, update it, get rid of a lot of the old things we've tacked out of, like, the small electric poles never going to use again. And we'll just use large electric poles to stretch things across. Let's move him. And what is this guy? Oh, that's the old electronic circuit facility. Okay, we will empty him out in the fullness of time. And I think okay, he didn't quite catch up. Which one were you? This. Okay, you'll go like that. We'll have the oil there. I think I'm going to fill this and this in. We might leave this here for water, or I might fill it in. We're going to have to fill in a lot of these interior lakes to make room for trains and whatnot. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I'm probably going to do a live stream where I work on this kind of stuff, where I can chat with viewers and that kind of stuff. But we made a lot of progress. The second to last phase of the Factorio Recursion base is underway. This is going to let us tech into and start producing the level 3 modules and the beacons, at which point we will start pushing everything into just one Factorissimo base, which is going to go right here, and we're going to need a lot of trains out around it. But that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.